Dreamscape presents The Great Reversal: How America Gave Up on Free Markets by Thomas Philippon, narrated by Walter Dixon. Preface. The question that spurred me to write this book is surprisingly mundane. It's something that virtually everyone in the United States has probably asked themselves at one point or another. Why on earth are U.S. cell phone plans so expensive? Or, to broaden it a little further, why do consumers in Europe or in Asia pay less for cellular service and, on average, get much more? Asking this seemingly simple question was my first step on a journey through some of the most hotly debated issues in modern economics. Looking for the answer led me to investigate wage stagnation, corporate lobbying, special interests, governance of large financial funds, money in politics, free trade, technology, and innovation. It also led to some surprising revelations about the relative prices of goods and services in the U.S. and Europe, overturning common assumptions, including my own, about the status of consumers in the two largest economic markets on the planet. How did I wind up here? Believe it or not, this was not my intention. It's the data's fault. I started with a precise, well-defined question, and then I followed the facts. All the facts. Nothing more, but nothing less, and I'll admit freely that I was as surprised as anyone by the outcome. My aim is to retrace some of these steps, taking you along with me. If you follow, you'll find out why you're paying an arm and a leg for your cell phone every month, but you'll also learn a lot about economics. In fact, the book could serve as an introduction to modern economics, though in an unconventional format. A quick note about my approach. Unlike some who write about controversial topics in economics or in other fields, I readily admit that I don't have all the answers. In much of the writing on economics and society today, the tone is certain and prescriptive. The problems are obvious, and predictably, so are the solutions. I would suggest, however, that such prescriptions be taken with a large grain of salt. When you read an author or commentator who tells you something is obvious, take your time and do the math. Almost every time, you'll discover that it wasn't really obvious at all. I have found that people who tell you that the answers to the big questions in economics are obvious are telling you only half of the story. More often than not, they think the answers are obvious, either because they have an agenda or because they don't really know what they are talking about. So be skeptical, always. Most people simply repeat what they have heard without...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?